Y'all, hey, welcome back to my channel. Thanks so much for stopping by. Y'all, we finna get into a project. Looky here. See these books? Look at this little furry felon. That's not our project. See these books piled up on the floor here? And then see those books in there in my office piled up on the floor? I know, that's a mess, and we got to deal with it. So I'm gonna tell you the plan as soon as you like this video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell so you can keep up with the shenanigans. And I tell you what, I'm gonna go in the office, get posted up comfortable like, so we can talk about, I actually have a plan, so we can talk about the plan. So y'all do your things. I'm gonna get us set up in the office and I'll be right back. All right, friends, let's talk about this. So I've been putting this off for a while, and I know that I need to deal with this, but I've got books everywhere. I'm a bit of a book hoarder. And it doesn't count if it's books. It does not count as hoarding if it's books. We've established this. But here's the crux of my problem. You see down here, ignore all the clutter in my office, but you see down there that whole bottom row of books and like half of the second row. That's all college textbooks. Which, I mean, it's all interesting and whatnot, except that I've been out of college for like 2 decades. No, I know. Hang on, let's look at some of these books. So I've got, let's just see. Let's see some of these books that I have hung on to and toted around from, I don't even know. Hang on, sorry, y'all are looking straight into that light. From house to house and apartment to apartment, all over the place. We've got educational psychology. Y'all, I took Ed Psych in like 1996. I know. Half of y'all probably weren't even born then. I'm not even going to look at the publication date of this book, but I've not opened this book since I took the class. What else is over here? Oh, no. I had nightmares about this book when I was in the class. So here's the deal. I'm going to go through these books. There we go. And I'm going to get rid of all of these books across the bottom row. And that's going to give us a whole bottom row of space. And then I'm going to go through all of these books and come up with some kind of organization. And I don't know, I'm still staring right into that light. There we go. I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do as far as organization is concerned, but y'all, Wednesday is Lent. So in the past, I've done like, you know how people do like the 40 bags in 40 days because it's 40 days of Lent and you're supposed to give up something or like do something for Lent. Well, I'm not doing like 40 bags of books, but I was thinking maybe like 40 books in 40 days, like donate 40 books over the 40 days of Lent. I don't know. I'm going to do something, but y'all probably won't see this video until maybe, I mean, it might not be Easter time you see it, but I will have gone through all of these books, gotten rid of all of them, done some kind of something with this up here, done something with this mess. I know, y'all, it is shameful. So I will get this mess under control. I will come back. I might come back in the midst and let y'all see what's going on and let you know what my plan is for my Lent thing for my books. But for sure I will come back in the end and we'll do like a tour and I'll let you see my shelves because I like some people do like organize their shelves by colors, but I don't think I would be able to find any books then. And like my books are actually functional. Like I actually want to be able to find my books and be able to read them or like loan them to people or talk about them or something. So I feel like if I organize them by color and I can't remember the color of a book, how am I going to find it? So anyway, I'm going to work all those things out, but I just wanted to show y'all all of this. Y'all look at this. This is just shameful. I just wanted to show y'all my shame before I got in here and started working on it. So I'm going to work on this. I might come back and let y'all see in the midst of it, but it's going to be a mess. So maybe we'll just wait until the end and I will give you the tour of my lovely reorganized bookshelves. But either way, I will see y'all in a while once I've done some stuff. Friends, can somebody remind me, please, who thought it was a good idea for me to reorganize my bookshelves and why? Because this is an absolute nightmare. Let me just show you what we got going on here. So I'm gonna get on the floor. So the stack, remember the stack that was here? The stack is gone. So that's all good. That's gone. And this bottom shelf that was, I don't know, some 1990s version. Look, here's a furry felon. He's like, Mama, we're working so hard. Some 1990s version of like educational psychology or something. Those are all gone. But I feel like every time I think I'm making progress, I move something, like I move this, and there's a whole nother kit. Hang on, let me turn y'all around, do this the actual human way. There's another whole, like, probably 5 years worth of grad school there. We got more grad school over there. We got more grad school. Oh no, that might already be done. We got more grad school down here. Yeah, y'all. They never end. And then, hang on. Sorry, I know I'm spinning y'all around. Hang on. All right, so we got these gone. So that's, well, okay, I know they're still there, but that's mostly done. But then, these all got to go somewhere. That's all. Them's my grad school books. So yeah, that's the adventure that I've gotten us into. And we got about, I don't know, 6 days left to finish this up by Easter. So y'all sit tight. I'm gonna get back to this. 'Cause I know, check this out. I know, look at this I know, we've been doing this for a while. So I'm gonna get back to this and we're gonna, oh, sorry about that, sorry, boot that light. We're gonna get back to this and I'm gonna give y'all a tour. Probably maybe not on Easter, but close to Easter, all right? So y'all sit tight and the tour is coming. Friends, the day has finally come for our after shoot. Now, let me say before we get into this and y'all get all judgy that this is still a work in progress. I don't know what to do with this light because these lights are set up for me to sit over there and film, and I'm gonna be behind where the lights are like set to work, so I don't know. I have my overhead lights off for now, but I might turn them on, so we'll just see how that works. But let's jump straight into this thing. So let's start over here, and I don't know, oh yeah, that's not gonna work. All right, hang on. Let me turn on this light because I think I'm gonna be backlit by the window, at least for this portion of our program. So let's start over here with, hang on, sounds like somebody's here. Oh, it's the brown man. So let's start here. I don't know how to do this. We'll do it this way. We'll start here with one of my favorite sections. It's the rom-coms. So I don't know if I should set y'all up on a tripod. I don't know. We'll try this for now. So these are kind of literary fiction. So these are already read and loved. Like, I guess y'all don't need to see me while we're talking about this. Of course, these are the Beartown books. Now, Benji is over here in my Boys That I Love section. But here are the other two Beartown books. There's a bunch of Taylor Jenkins Reid, and I have Carrie Soto with Benji. Well, Benji and the Boys with Beartown. And then my other Taylor Jenkins Reads. Here's some random, I haven't read these yet, but these are some other random sports. I think they're like romance, maybe rom-coms. This, y'all know this one, Icebreaker. I think I'm the only person in the world that didn't like this book, but I really didn't like this book. Then we get into the Kristen Hannas of it all. How cool is this, y'all? This is a signpost my sister had made for me of the important places in my life and how far they are from here. We'll leave that out of the way for now. So the Kristen Hannas of it all. Here's the, my signpost is in the way. The first book that ever Kristen handed me was The Great Alone. Y'all, seriously, that's the one. We're going to pretend like that spin was smoother than it was. That book broke me so badly. I was laying in the bed reading it. I had to get up and walk it off. It broke me so bad. And the intern was like, what are you doing? You went to bed 5 hours ago. Well, like 3 hours ago, which I really did. And yeah, like I was so upset I couldn't stay in the bed. I had to get up and walk around. Anyway, so that's the Kristen Hannas of it all. Up above, all right, so these are my Christmas books. Now these are ones that, most of them are ones that I've read. Some of them we've read together. There's The Afterlife of Holly Chase. Y'all, we've read Holly Chase together a few times. Stupidest Angel is up there. My first Lucy Score book is up there. It's The Christmas Fix. Those are, anyway, those are all Christmas books that I love, and I'm sure we'll read again and just can't bring myself to get rid of. There's Dave Gnome. These are books by my buddy Dave. Love him. Anyway, so let's get into things that I love. On my things that I love shelf, there's my Hello Kitties. I moved my Georgia Coke bottles aside. They usually sit right here in front of my things that I love books. And y'all, of course, we have the Emily Henry Face Out. So this is the British version of People You Meet on Vacation, which is right there. So I have two versions of this book just because it's so much fun. But these are my Emily Henrys. I have the new Emily Henry downstairs in my TBR. TBR and V, to be read and vlogged. So those are my Emily Henrys. My Kristen Higgins. Y'all, if you don't love Kristen Higgins yet, you need to get on it. My Abby Jimenez's. How do you make Jimenez plural? I don't know. Anyway, there are my Abby books. Allie Hazelwood. So things that I love. Y'all, here is my shrine to serial killer books. Well, serial killer romances. Butcher and Blackbird. You know how we love that one. And then there's the... So let's talk our way through this. We've talked about this. Like, what do you do with... Oh, my battery's about to die. Hang on. All right, there we go. That'll get us through. So our serial killer romance shelf. This is the Butcher and Blackbird, the collector's edition that I got. That's got like the lovely cover and the sprayed pages and the lovely end pages. And it's got the, what's it called? The warning things on the inside of the book jacket. But anyway, so that's set up over there. And then here's the ones that you actually read. You know, the ones that you're willing to get your grubby paws on. So that's Butcher and Blackbird, Leather and Lark, and this is one that we're about to read together, Scythe and Sparrow. Rare. The Mind F series. So that's my serial killer shelf. And then there's Kitties. So whilst we're on this, what do you do with the collector's items books? So here's what I did with my... We've talked about box sets, like what do you do with box sets? I just kind of like post them up in places. There's another, we'll get over here in a minute. Let's go back over here. All right, I'm already all off kilter. Another little face out. This is, y'all know how obsessed I am with the Magnolia Parks, like this. Ooh, things are gonna fall. This cover of Magnolia Parks. I don't know why. I tried to post y'all up on the shelf while I set that back up, but it didn't work. But anyway, there's Magnolia. And all of my Lucy Score books, except for the Christmas Lucy Score, which is up with the Christmas books. And that's another challenge, is like cross-posting books. What do you do with a book that's like a Lucy Score book? So it should go in the Lucy Score collection, but then it's also a Christmas book. So is it more of a Lucy Score book or more of a Christmas book? I don't know. I put it with the, I think I put it with the, yeah, I did. I put it with the Christmas collection, not the Lucy Score collection, but I was like, I don't know what, because I guess I figure where am I more likely to look for it? And I'm more likely to look for it in Christmas books. So anyway, Lucy Scores are there. Elsie Silvers are over there. So this is like the rom-com scene. Then up here, we have a little blank section. I don't know what's going to go there yet. I've had some ideas, but they just haven't quite played out yet. Then we work, so we go from serial killers, work our way up into vampires. Now this starts with some like other sort of like undead things. And then we get into vampires, the like undead and unwed. So these are like funny vampires. Then we get into the Twilight, like the shiny vampires. Then we get into like legit rip your face off and suck your blood vampires. Then we get into fantasy. So we have, of course, Fourth Wing, Iron Flame, and then Onyx Storm, which I have set up that way so that we can see the gorgeous sprayed edges on Onyx Storm. Then we just kind of start going into, these are, is it called realistic fantasy? Like everything's kind of normal except the fantasy parts. Then this is all just kind of hodgepodge fantasy, but like sorted into, like these are sorted by author. Y'all remember, what was it? House in the Cerulean Sea. Love this book. It broke my heart in 100 different ways, and I absolutely loved it. So these are all the TJ Klune books that I have. And then there's Legends and Lattes. And Bookshops and Bone Dust. That's book 2 of this series. And then just some randoms. These are those big fat books I haven't read, but look how beautiful they are. Priory of the Orange Tree and Day of Fallen Night. And then Bone Season, which is same author. Also haven't read that. Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, which of course is V.E. Schwab. So then these are my V.E. Schwabs, most of which I have not read. Divine Rivals, again, we're not going to go through every single book, more fantasy. And then we come across a book set, a boxed set. Sorry, I thought I heard. So let me tell y'all this. I wasn't sure if we were going to get into this or not, but little furry Felon Beau, who is, hang on. So there's Felon Daisy. And there's Felon Beau over there. Little furry Felon Beau got himself, see that spot on his back right there? He got himself snatched up by a coyote last night. And fortunately, the intern heard it. They were outside going potty. And the intern heard this, because it's not quiet when you get snatched up by a coyote. So the intern heard the squabbling and ran out and yelled, and the coyote dropped in, and you know, he got Beau inside, and he seems fine, but he's just a little off. Like, you know, he's doing all his normal doggy things, but he just seems uncomfortable. So we called the doctor, and she said that she could dispense antibiotics because he's got that, it's a puncture wound on his back. I know. So she said she could just give him medicines, but she's like, with him being a senior dog, I know, she would really like to see him. So he's going to go see her in a little while. But for now, he's just kind of chilling. So I'm kind of keeping an ear out for him. And I'm trying not to like do too much moving about so that I don't upset him too much. So anyway, I thought I heard him moving, which I did because he was on his other bed a few minutes ago. So, and like right now I'm standing over their dog bed, which I was going to move, but then I was like, I don't want to upset him too much by moving their stuff. So we'll just work around it. Hey y'all. Editing Day Danielle here. I'm outside with the furry felons for a quick little comfort break. I don't know if you can see Beau over there. Oh, I'm not going to show you Daisy. She's having her comfort break, but I thought I would check in quickly and let you know that Beau is fine. Like I told you, the intern took him to the vet. Well, it's editing day, so it's the next day. But the intern took him to the vet yesterday. She gave him a quick once over twice, found a couple of puncture wounds that we hadn't seen before, but she said she didn't think there was any internal damage. She said that we went back over the video, and the coyote snatched him up and like shook him. And she said from where the coyote shook him that she thought maybe it hurt his back, but that he didn't seem to have any lasting damage. So she gave him some antibiotics, a painkiller, and a muscle relaxer to help his back ease out. She said that he should, can you see him over there? That we should expect gradual improvement. I don't know, y'all might just be seeing grass behind me for all I know, but anyway, we should expect gradual improvements. That day 4 is actually going to be the worst for like the pain, but then it should be smooth sailing from there on out. So y'all, Furry Felon Beau should be fine. Anyway, box set. So this is, remember these? This was the first one that I got. And it's an accidentally, good thing there's not a dog in that bed. It's an accidentally autographed copy. I didn't realize it was autographed until I got it. I'm not even sure it was listed as autographed. But it's, and not even, there's not even like a book plate in it. It's like legit autographed. Speaking of which, let me ask y'all this. I'm going to quit flipping y'all around in a minute. I'm probably not. But what do y'all think about, so I saw somebody selling, I can't remember what book it was, but it was something that I really liked. And I would have been interested in it, but it was an autographed copy, but the book wasn't really autographed. It might have been Onyx Storm. Like, it was a book that I would legit have like paid some cash to buy an autographed copy of, but it wasn't really autographed. It was a book plate. So like, you know, like one of those like stick-on things that the author had autographed the book plate and just, it had just been stuck in the book. So I did some research, and there are like sites that say that a book plate autograph is equally legit with a, like, are y'all zoomed into my head? Hang on. Oh, I think I zoomed to see the felons. Anyway, I read sources that said book plate autographs are like equally legit with like a wet autograph. But to me, the author having touched and held that book, I mean, I know it doesn't mean a thing in the world to the author, but the author touched that book. So I'm touching something that the author touched. So, yeah, I don't know. To me, a book plate autograph is not the same as an actual like wet, like an actual like pen signed autograph in a book. Let me know what y'all think. So anyway, that's actually autographed. And whilst we're talking autographs, remember, where's the Hex? That one. Remember Hex Hall is also, let me not, I keep doing this, and that Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires keeps falling over into Onyx Storm and falling down into my dog's bed. So, good thing there's not a dog in the bed, like I said before. So this is also an accidental autograph. I got it I don't remember where I got it. Obviously I got it used, but it says, "To Jessica, be excellent." I just think that's funny. I'm just going to set that there and put it up in a minute so I don't knock things down. So anyway, here, so we go from the Belladonna books into, we have the Stolen Air books just because it's on the end, but then we go into literary fiction, and I need to adjust this because there are probably better books to go with the Stolen Air books than not literary fiction, good Lord, dark academia. What the heck? So we go into dark academia here, get into some Ninth House, some Hellbent, some Leigh Bardugo. All my Leigh Bardugos are together. And then, y'all, I still have not started these books, but I have a bunch of them. City of Bones, City of Ashes, City of Glass, all those. These, oh, my Leigh Bardugos are not together. These need to be, all right, hang on. Like I said, work in progress. Now, I thought I had more Leigh Bardugos than that. Now my Leigh Bardugos are together. There's the Shadow and Bone series. More of these Crescent City. I started this. Remember, that was one of those that's supposed to be a standalone. Then I started reading it like I have no idea what I'm reading. And then started to get back up and read other books to go with it first. So now we get into some, so this is just regular, like random literary fiction. Excuse my family. Goes into my Christopher Moore collection. Y'all, if you don't know Christopher Moore, so that's the Stupidest Angel author. It's sort of like campy, satirical comedy. Love him. I don't even know what else to say about Christopher Moore, so I'm just going to move on to, these are kind of like rom-com-ish, but kind of like, I don't know, lighthearted-ish, into the Ellen Hildebrandt beachy reads. These are definite rom-com-y. So we're like easing back over into that's the rom-com section where there's Magnolia Parks over there. So we've wrapped back around. Here's a big old chunk of rose quartz. I don't know how I keep getting zoomed. Here are some literary fictions, I guess. These are my Rachel Hawkinses, some of which I've read, some of which I have not. The Shatter Me series, I've read one, that's plenty. I need to just get rid of those. They should go, speaking of, okay, we'll talk about that in a minute. Mary Kay Andrews, love her. That's another one that I have some Christmas books, but they're up in the Christmas book section. Then we get into some police procedural kind of stuff. Big Fat. I think most of these are literary fiction. Now, remember I mentioned that people do books by color? I have one little section of by color. And y'all look, I got a bunch of these. I need to get some more. Can y'all see that? The just like clear bookends. I need more of those because my books keep falling. But yeah, they're so awesome. And then there's my Big Fat Random House Dictionary that I've had since. See the Georgia sticker on it? That was, yeah, before my freshman year of my undergrad. It was a year or two ago. So yeah, a bunch of just big, fat, thick covered literary fictions. These are the only, y'all, these are the only books from all of those school, like years and years and years of college books that I kept. We have 2 rows of young adult stuff, or like teaching kids stuff. Because I was like, I just don't need these. Because now this is how my thing keeps getting zoomed. Because when I go to tilt my thing, I hit the zoom button and I'm backlit. There we go. Usually when I teach a book now, I use the Kindle version. So I don't need these like books that I taught from anymore. But like these ones, the Weetsy Bat books, y'all, I'm not getting rid of my Weetsy Bat books. So I have my Weetsy Bat books. I have my hardcover Harry Potters. Not getting rid of those. I had a whole conversation today with the kid about how Gryffindor I am and how like combo Gryffindor Slytherin he is. Anyway, so these are all of my like kid books. And then now here's where we get into, now as random as those were, this is random. This is like not really sure where you're going to go yet. Work in progress. So I just kind of shoved them over here and we'll do something with them eventually. But like up there are my Barbara Kingsolvers. And this is like we're wrapping around from, there's the Fourth Wing books. And so this is that next section. So there's, yeah, Barbara Kingsolvers. There's my Janet Ivanovich's. Here's, I know I've got more Sue Monk kids somewhere, and that's part of it, is I have to like sort through these. There's my Fanny Flags. I have to sort through these. And here's more like procedurals. So yeah, I just got to kind of figure out how those are all going to go together. Oh, there's another, that Barbara Kingsolver needs to go up there, but I will do that in a minute because y'all, I think that's going to be it. That is the end of the tour of the, oh, no, it's not. I told y'all I was going to show you something in a minute. Look. I told you I was going to do 40 books in 40 days. So that pile of grad school books is all gone, thanks to the intern. And here are my donation books. So I went through, instead, obviously I didn't, I'm not going to just unload. I just pushed a button. I hope it doesn't do anything weird. I wasn't going to just unload. I'm echoey. Hang on. Let's go back in the office. I know y'all are like, Lord, child, girl, stop moving. Sorry. Here, I'll stand with Kitty. We'll let Kitty be our backdrop. I wasn't going to just unload a decade and a half of college textbooks on like the Goodwill or somewhere, because then they just have to get rid of those, because don't nobody want to buy educational psychology books from 1996. So I sorted through all of my college textbooks and like all the, because some of those somebody might want, right? Not a college textbook, but like a lot of those books that you use aren't really textbooks. They're like novels and stuff. So I sorted through all of those and I went through a bunch of my books that I'm just not going to read again and have no use for. Sorted those out, and that's at least 40 books. So those are my donation books. Those are going to go probably not to the Goodwill, probably to, there's a Catholic charity not downstairs, downtown, that works directly with people in need. So I'll probably take those down there. So that's my donation books. My college books are gone, and there's still room. You saw there's room in that shelf up there, and there's room up there to not necessarily buy more books, but to continue to shuffle things around and get them really organized. So that's going to be, like I said, my work in progress. And y'all, let me tell you what, I have been tempted a few times to go on, you know how you go on those like buy three, get one free used book sites? I have been very tempted, but I've stopped myself because I'm like, honey child, if you buy those books, you got to shelve those books somewhere. So let me tell you what, if you go in and clean out all the clutter from your bookshelves and get your bookshelves organized, it will most definitely make you think twice about bringing home any old random book. So if you're trying to declutter, that might be a way to do it. All right, y'all, that's it. That is it. We've been talking forever about these books. I am done. I got to go sit with my poor little beat up puppy until we take him to the vet. So let me know. How do you have your books organized? If you have a better idea, many people have better ideas than I do. Let us know in the chat. How do you organize your books? Do you do it by color? Do you do it by author? Do you do it by sort of genre like I have mine done? Let us know in the comments. Y'all, thank you so much for hanging out with me. If you made it this far, we are most definitely friends. So go ahead and like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell so you can keep up with the shenanigans. I upload food and fitness videos at the beginning of every week with some book videos sprinkled in between. See you on the next one.